Let's scramble. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, June 14th, 2023. As I like to say, if you have a code enforcement issue, you're in the right place. My name's Doug McIbbott. I'm the Special Magistrate. First thing I'm going to do is swear everyone in, so everyone please raise your right hand. Does everyone swear or affirm that the testimony they're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Say I do. Good. My last meeting, someone raised their left hand. It was kind of embarrassing. All right. Most of our hearings today are either going to be violation hearings or fine assessment hearings. Those people have been through, well, in those cases, the village will call your name. Everyone signed in because there's only 3 of you. When you hear your name called, go up to that podium over there. You'll identify yourself. The village will put on their evidence, ask you if you object to their file. They will testify, and then you get to question them or put on your own cases, and then I get to make a decision. That would switch to people who are doing the fine reduction hearings. I think we have only one on the agenda. Those people have been through a violation hearing and a fine assessment hearing. They're asking for relief, so they get to go first. I think I've hit the high points. Please take it away, Village.
Thank you, M.D. Barnard, Village Attorney. We're starting on page 2 of the agenda, violation hearings, case 23-0218, the bottom of the page, 778 Carissa Drive, Jose A. Martinez.
Is that you? All right.
Dina Foley, Code Officer for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. The code section is 2318B1A, prohibited vehicle. I observed this on 3/8/23. The notice violation was mailed out 3/9/23, and I have actual service. The notice of hearing was mailed out 4/17/23 and was posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice violation; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification of ownership; and Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
Oh, okay. All right, sir, please tell us your name.
Jose Martinez.
Okay. And you're going to show them a file?
I did, sir. Those documents I handed you are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. They're the notice of violation, notice of hearing, proof of ownership, and the affidavit of compliance. Any objection to those documents?
I'm sorry, what was that, man?
Any objection to the pieces of paper I handed you? There's the exhibits we'd like to enter into the record.
Take your time.
The prohibited vehicle.
Just the pieces of paper. It's the notice documents for tonight's hearing.
They're just trying to get in the little basic bits of, here's your notice, here's who owns the property, here are pictures of the vehicle, that kind of stuff. And then we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
All right, so no objection, we can proceed.
And this is actually finding a fact, so
I know,
this is easy.
we're fulfilling your needs before we can fulfill his.
Thank you.
They say you have complied, so all that's going to happen is you're going to get a finding of fact which says you fixed it, but don't do it again. So he can't park at his home with that vehicle, is that correct? But he can stop by and visit if he leaves it out on the street for an hour. So if you want to come back for lunch, no, I'm serious. I've got a neighbor who's got a Comcast truck.
No, well, I mean, it's an F-350. It's a flatbed.
The problem with the F-350 flatbed is it has stuff on the flatbed.
Right. Well,
and if you don't have stuff on the flatbed, it's okay, but it's probably harder for you to do the things you need to do with it.
Well, that's my only vehicle that I, bring in money. I mean, but, I know I spoke to Ms. Foley, and she said that it was a compressor, that I have to cover it up. So that's my understanding. That's the only thing. I put a tarp on it, but I guess she wants a metal,
you
box.
You need a more permanent thing than a tarp.
So no, I just want to make clear once I do put that. I mean, like I said, that's.
Now, what you're going to do is once you get it done, you're going to call Ms. Foley.
Yes, right now.
And she's going to look at it and say that's good or that's not.
Right, yeah, that's what she told me. But like I told her that it was in the shop, and my transmission went out on it. So once I get it to where it's at, I'm going to bring it to her. That way she can give me the blessing. And
yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it will save your compressor from getting stolen off the back of your truck.
Yeah,
maybe,
that's
it
fine.
may be a safety device, but yeah, that's the only thing. They don't mind trucks,
right?
As long as they're under a certain weight. I have no idea what the weight requirement is in the village, but it's usually like 10,000 plus pounds.
Right.
So you should be under that. It's just the thing on the back, and if you cover the thing on the back to their satisfaction, then you're good.
Yes, that's what she told me.
Okay? Are we all good?
Good.
Everyone's good? Finding of fact is granted. You'll get one in the mail.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
sir? Take
Thank you,
care
sir.
and have a good weekend.
Moving to the top of page 3,
Yeah,
case
but-
23-0262, 155 Meander Circle, Sandra D. Love.
Code section 622108.4, work done without a permit, planter box, wall, electric, lights, etc. I observed this on 3/22/23. The notice of violation was sent out certified mail on 3/24/23 and was signed for on 4/4/23. The notice of hearing was sent out certified mail on 5/6/23 and was signed for on 5/15/23. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing in USPS. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, pictures.
Do you have the papers?
Okay.
Your name for the record, ma'am?
Sandra Love.
Thank you. Those documents I handed you are the exhibits the village would like to enter into evidence. The photos will be up on the screen in a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, admitted without objection. You'll find it eventually.
There it is.
Stop, back up. There's one. Very pretty. Yep. Okay, so what does she need other than an electrical permit, a plumbing permit? Yeah. The irrigation or wall, she's got a permit in? Okay.
Having an issue right now with she's got pavers in the back that she's speaking with planning and zoning about. She may have to get a variance for, so we're waiting to see if that is going to hold up this permit, because
Okay.
it may.
Okay,
unless
so we're
she
good.
removes them
Since
first.
she's here and has decided to participate in our process here, I always give people who show up more time. So whatever time you're going to give her another month. So if it's going to be next month, give her to the month after. So she can at least straighten out the variance question.
Yeah,
And have the opportunity to get the front part dealt with without being tied to the back part. So,
we were going to ask for compliance by July 27th.
so make it August something. Give it the next month. 8, whatever,
So August 1st for August 9th.
8189.
I mean, I'm sorry, that's the same hearing we're going to ask for, 727 or 89. So
Okay, it's going to be 9. What's a 9 hearing?
9/1 for 9/13
91913 sounds good.
or $25 a day fine.
Gotcha. See, since you showed up and you expressed some interest and you're working towards some sort of resolution to these issues, instead of giving you a month, I'm giving you 2, which hopefully will be enough time for you to at least straighten out the question about what you need in the back and gives them time to process it once that question's dealt with.
May I?
Sure.
I had asked my HOA on both of the projects if I needed a permit, and I was told no. Otherwise, I would have definitely come to you guys first. So just so you know that, I would have definitely done that first instead of coming to you now. So I will do whatever it takes to get it fixed.
I have nothing to say about HOAs, other than I made sure I bought a house in a neighborhood that did not have one.
I kind of didn't have a choice, but I totally understand and agree with that.
HOAs are really good for negotiating bulk cable deals. And that's about it.
I have to agree with that as well.
All right, so you get an order in the mail. Just keep in touch with them.
Okay.
Just make sure, whatever is happening with your backyard kind of gets resolved so your front yard.
The
can be done.
irrigation was already there for that front planter area. We didn't do anything with that. And there was already electrical there as well. My dad just hooked up those 3 columns to the pole to put the solar lights on, but he's now taking those off. So
Yeah, that's fine. And,
Okay.
I don't think solar is an issue anyway, because those are just individual point of light things. Yeah, as long as they're not wired together.
well, they were
fine.
wired to the electric, which went off of the solar button. They didn't actually have a switch to turn off and on. And when the sun went down, they would go on.
Okay, so it's
I don't know how that works.
light
but-
detected on-off switch. All right, 9191325 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
Next.
moving to page 6 of the agenda, it's a fine mitigation hearing. It's case 20-0618, 794 Carissa Drive, Corinne Corbisiero. And special magistrate, the fine amount in this one is $1,550.
1550.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your name, ma'am?
Corinne Corbisiero.
Thank you.
I gave him all my paper.
Was present.
You need to read your stuff in.
Yeah. We would like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, letter requesting fine mitigation. Exhibit 2, order assessing fine. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. One.
She doesn't need that.
We don't, yeah.
You can show her her paperwork. Yeah. Okay.
Is that everything that you
All right. The question I have on these cases is always easy. Why should the fine be reduced?
I submitted, when I did submit the paperwork on August 19th, I uploaded it into the system. It was rejected on August 20th. It shouldn't have been rejected. The shed was in the house when I moved into the house. I moved into the house in 2011. I didn't know I needed a permit for it. Had it for 10 years, had no idea. And then when I got the fine, or not the fine, when I got written up for it, I was doing everything I can to figure out what I had to do to move it. I'm a single mom. It's kind of hard for me to move the shed myself and not just take it down. Can't take the shed down by myself. I need help. So I got everything. The shed was built by Ted Shed, so I had to do research to find out who built the shed, if I can get the schematics for it and everything.
Engineering- the engineering stuff.
During COVID, it was hard to get a hold of anybody. It was hard for people to answer, and even getting a hold of, I think I was trying to get a hold of, is it Kevin Backer, who's the one who rejected it? Couldn't get a hold of him. Finally got a hold of Todd Wax, and I think it's on here on September 29th, and he said, well, this shouldn't have been rejected, and he pushed it through. So it took from August 20th to September 29th to have it approved when it should have been approved when I first initially submitted the paperwork.
Okay. So you're saying that
What's
this
the
fine should be what? $0? Couple of dollars?
That's a wish and a prayer that I've been praying for the past 2 weeks. But I mean, $50, if that's okay. Being a single mom, it's kind of hard to push through.
And then I turn to the village and go, what do you say?
What, ma'am, what date did the permit get approved?
9/29.
Do you have a calculator? That's August. That's 60 days at 25. Do you have a calculator or no?
It's on your phone. They're terrible.
I don't have my phone. 60 times 25.
It's 30 times 1,500.
So that's essentially the compliance date. That's what I wanted to check. So that's when the fine stopped was, yeah, September 30th.
Yeah, she's just saying that if the upload was proper and she was told that it should not have been rejected, that she would not have a fine.
When was it? When was the permit rejected?
August
On
20th?
August 20th. And I submitted it August 19th. And they
Well,
said they wanted it in compliance with 2020 building code, but they said I purchased the house in 2011. That shed was built prior to that. There's no way it could have been built to 2020 code.
Well, you don't know. It's a question of engineering as opposed to anything else. But whatever.
do you have documentation from Todd Wax with you?
I just printed out the dates and stuff when it was approved. But I said I know I was trying to get a hold of somebody. As soon as it was rejected, I've been calling the office trying to get a hold of somebody. And when I finally got a hold of Todd, it was probably 9/29 is when he released it and approved it.
Okay. We'll leave this one to your discretion. I'll tell you that the village's costs are $402.99.
Yeah. Cost of doing business here.
I will leave it to your discretion.
$100.
Thank you. Thank you.
Payable within 30
Payable
days.
by 30 days.
What's today? The So by 7:14.
Just a few less fireworks. You're welcome. You'll get an order in the mail. You can't make the payment until the order's been signed.
Correct.
So if you wanted to run down here tomorrow and pay it, you can't.
I can't
You got
come and pay before I get the.
No, you can't pay before you get the order because they're going to look at that and go, I don't have anything to attach it to. Keep it. See, she's shaking her head. So
All right, so
you
I
get
have,
an
I have
order.
something with the bank that I have to show proof of payment in order to release
Yeah.
it to get something, so I have to wait that 30 days to do that.
No, it's probably going to be like a Monday.
Monday?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday.
Okay.
Usually, sometimes I
We're
get all
closed
excited
Mondays.
and I do Fridays. Oh, we're closed on Monday for Juneteenth.
Right.
Sometimes they get all excited and they do it on Friday, so it's either going to be Friday or Tuesday.
Less work to do the next week.
Right?
I said it's less work to do the following week.
Uh,
All right.
all right, take care.
Thank you.
And then once I get that notice, I can come right up to,
Come to
right
Village
there
Hall
and
across
pay
the way. Yep.
Yeah, and if you want to bring a $100 bill, they won't have to worry about it clearing.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a new person in the back.
I think it's on page 6, 23-0337, the last violation
Kenton.
hearing. I think is what she said.
So it's the 300 Crestwood.
You could
Maybe.
swear her in if you want.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give? Oh, you can stay right there.
You can stand there and then go to the podium.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? She does. We're good. What is your name, ma'am? Okay. Am I on the right case? This is Kensington
Is
of Royal
Kensington-
Palm.
Kensington?
That's what I was told, yes.
Yeah, I'll read the whole thing. It's case 20. It's a violation hearing, case 23-0337, 300 Crestwood Circle, Kensington of Royal Palm Beach Condominium Association, Inc.
Okay, and you've identified yourself as Julie Barnett. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what is your position with Kensington of Royal Palm Beach?
Yes, I'm the property manager.
PM. Okay, thanks. Just filling in blanks for everybody.
Okay, the code section's 1116, description, fire alarm, emergency lighting, gate key switch are not functioning properly. Opening in the fire barrier, this is for 300 Crestwood Circle Clubhouse, 300 Crestwood Circle Building K, 340 Crestwood Circle Building L, 350 Crestwood Circle Building M, and 360 Crestwood Circle Building N. This violation was written on 3/31/2023. It was sent certified mail on 4/6/23 and signed for on 4/8/23. Notice of hearing was sent 5/5/23, and according to USPS, is still in the system, moving through their network. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue Report from Cindy Campbell, Fire Inspector Cindy Campbell.
I remember her from last time. This is a different one, though? Or is it?
Thank you so much.
Different case, but same fire inspector.
No, different case. No, different property.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And the last one, the postal guy signed COVID really weird.
I thought they had stopped doing that, but they're back to doing it again.
I think it's easier for them.
Thank you, Linda. These are all your documents. Thank you.
Okay. This is a violation hearing.
Yes, it is.
Do you have any objection to those documents being entered into the record?
No, ma'am.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Okay, admitted without objection, so you just want them to correct all these things so the fire department can go put out fires if they happen here.
Yes, and I think she has updates to give you on
Okay.
that.
Please tell me what you need to tell me.
Yes, so we actually, we engaged Farman Irwin, which is our fire sprinkler licensed and equipped vendor to make the necessary repairs for the firewall penetrations and the fire alarm monitoring bells. And we were successful in all of the repairs. The only thing we have outstanding that we're asking for a little bit of time is the fire inspector, Cindy Campbell, and she would like to have a Knox box gate switch, toggle switch at the exit gates. And we spoke to her supervisor, Jeff Miller, on, let's see, I have the email here. I can leave these documents to Jeff Miller. Contacted me on May 5th and informed us that we'll need to file a permit for the building department to install a gate switch, a toggle switch, which allows the fire department to come in the exit gates. That is the only item that we have that's outstanding as of today.
All right, and you need time to do the application?
Yes,
But, so Cindy has cleared everything on the violations?
she didn't want us to come back until we had everything done.
Yeah, so on it, I realize that in your mind it's all done, but until she has cleared it,
Yeah.
it's not clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we have not, we've, according to her report, Farmer Irwin has produced reports that we
Okay.
sent to her, but we need to have her come back to do the final inspection, which we won't be able to do that until we actually get the building permit. The vendor, which is our gate vendor, Sunshine, has already ordered the switch. They just have to fill out the application with the building department, get that cleared through planning, and once the permit's issued, then he can install the switch.
Okay, so they just need more time to fix the last thing.
Yeah, so, and I would have him start working on the permit right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to see if they can get through the computer part of it.
Well, the reason why I say that is because she said to get it cleared through planning, so I don't know if he's already spoken to someone.
He did.
And they've indicated that planning is gonna maybe have to do a review and maybe a site plan, because that's a little bit longer of an issue.
Okay.
So I just think you guys should submit the permit, and then that way we'll know
See that in the
if
workflow.
planning's gonna have to go through, if you're gonna be involved in a longer process with the village, we would know that at that point.
Okay.
Okay, so she gets some more time. How much time were you going to give her?
We were going to request compliance by July 27th or the August 9th fine assessment hearing, or $150 a day fine.
72789.
Yes, sir, or $150 a day.
Okay. So they've taken care of the clubhouse, the 330 Crestwood Building K, the 340 Crestwood Building L, and the 350 Building M, and the 360 Building N. Is that
So
right?
you guys have cleared, you've closed all the openings in the fire
ma'am.
barrier?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Okay.
she's done all of that, and what? Now they asked you to do something additional.
Yes, Cindy, during the inspection, she felt that there was a need for a toggle switch at the exit gates. The community has two entrances and one exit. Both entrances have the toggle switch, so the fire department can come in and out of those entrance-exit gates. But there is an exit only on Crestwood Boulevard that the residents leave only. They can't come in. And for whatever reason, when she did her inspection, she felt it needed to be added. It's something that was never done when the community was built. So Jeff, her supervisor, called me and said, no, I don't think that's necessary. It was never done in inception. But then when he called me back after he met with his supervisor, he called me back and he said, no, we want to go ahead and put the toggle switch there too. So I waited for him to let me know. So that is the last item that I have to do. And I have to do what Linda just said. I have to go to the building department. Sunshine has to file a permit. He did contact the building department and they said it is going to be a planning process. And you're right, they may require a site plan. I have no idea what else we'll need to include in
Yeah,
that
this
permit.
is never going to be done by July, which is what I'm saying. It's like, if this was one of the,
Well, I don't
if
know.
this was
I don't know how big the toggle switch is. If it's something that comes right up by the gate post and is just there, I don't think planning's gonna have an issue with it.
but given the fact that it seems to be almost an add-on violation from the originals, which were more the building related.
No, it
And,
was,
and I understand there's a gate switch, gate key and all that other stuff going on.
no, yes, but that was all cited in Cindy's original inspection back in 22.
Okay, including the rear gate?
Yes.
The preference would be if you want to set the 8-9 hearing for status/fine, but these are life safety violations.
No, I
so-
understand it's a life safety violation. I also understand that most of them, according to the respondent, have been rectified, and we're really dealing with one small issue at the back.
with the only caveat being that the fire inspector has not signed off on the
Right.
things yet that have been done.
Understood, but she's hired vendors and she's produced reports and things of that nature. It's not like they're not.
Right.
All right, so I'll do this as a status/fine status fine assessment hearing, just to see what's going on with your permitting process. That way you can say they.
If she needs more time, I don't think we're going to
Yeah,
object to that.
I
but
don't think so either.
We
I
just want to
don't wanna-
keep the progress
don't
moving
wanna-
forward.
make it like, oh yeah, you get to go through planning before the end of July, and I'm like, if I submitted that today, still wouldn't go through. That's my point.
Right.
So we'll do this as a status / fine assessment hearing, and that way I have the ability to actually order more time
Okay.
if we're waiting on action from the village or from the fire inspector, because you've done what you had to do and they didn't do what they had to do. Okay? Is everyone good on that?
So do I report back here for clarification?
You're going to be back here in August on the 9th.
If the permit isn't issued, you have to come back here.
Okay,
And
If
if the
the
permit
permit's
is
issued by the-
issued, you need to talk to Linda.
sure.
And if she says you do not have to come back, you want to get her to confirm that in by
So,
email.
let's say once the permit's issued and it's before that date, I would contact you, make a copy of the permit, and then you would advise me accordingly.
No. So I need to back up because we need to have Cindy clear your violations
Okay.
before 7/27,
Got it.
along with the permit being issued before 7/27.
Okay.
If that has not happened, you will be back here 8/9.
Okay.
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 And if
And
everything,
I'll know because I'm going to look it up.
Sure.
So I'll look up for the gate, and I will also be in contact with Cindy.
Okay. So I
So-
should call her tomorrow to have her come back and do her final inspection.
You're going to need, she said she didn't want to come out until that permit was issued for the gate,
Oh, okay.
right?
It-
Isn't
she-
that what
she-
you
I
said?
think she actually
Yeah.
wants to see a toggle switch.
Okay.
I mean, you're,
So then so if we don't get the permit by 7/27, she's not going to come do the inspection, and
Exactly.
I'm going to have to
she
come back.
might come do an inspection, but from what you told me, you indicated that she would not.
Correct.
So, but I think I would probably ask her to just
Yeah.
check on the other things
That'd be
myself.
great.
Myself, I
Okay.
will be asking her that.
That'd be
Because
great.
I'll send her the results of our hearing tonight,
Awesome.
okay?
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
So hopefully you won't be back here on August 9th, but if you are, you are.
I appreciate your time, sir.
All right, take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And I apologize. It was extremely difficult to find you. I'm so sorry. I was driving around for like 20 minutes. The sheriff didn't even know where to go. He's like, so I apologize.
Not a
Yep.
problem.
Thank you.
We're still in business for at least another half hour.
Thank you.
All right, that deals with the live portion of our programming.
Just to go grab our umbrellas.
I'll go to the bathroom and grab an umbrella. Yep, 5. Small adjournment, everyone run to their cars. recess for umbrellas I've done in my career. Hey. I'm also happy I moved the truck closer.
There you go.
I have less
Smart.
parking lot now. I'm blocking Hunter. You got it. That's sad, but okay. I'll accept
I
that.
know, we're gonna be sitting around. We have to stay till 7:30,
Why?
because we
Just-
come in at 10:30.
So
They
you
adjust our time.
know,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
have a meeting at Dunkin'.
Huh?
Staff meeting at Dunkin'.
Yeah. That would be nice. You're good.
Mine too, but I'm going to deal with the spots. All right, we ready to go?
Ready to
Recess
go.
is recessed. We are back on page 1, number 1.
Yep, fine assessment hearing, case 22-1877, 10138 Patience Lane, Superatanawong M. and Therabong Kavi.
Okay, you have a signed green card. You have service.
Like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, would you like
This has been out of compliance for 13 days, so we're asking for a fine of $325 and continuing.
325 plus continuing is granted.
23-0266, 136 Santa Monica Avenue, Progress Residential Borrower 10 LLC.
Code section, we'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
It's across the street. Do I really need pictures? All right, so USPS track and confirm equals service. What would you like?
Again, been out for 13 days, $325 and continuing.
Granted.
22-1922, 282 Sandpiper Avenue, Jerome Jeffrey.
Margaret Hancock, Code Enforcement Officer for the Village of Royal Palm. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. You have service via posting. Go ahead.
Again, this one's been out of compliance for 13 days, so $325 and continuing.
I wish I had a stamp. It would make it so easy. 325 plus continuing is granted.
Thank you.
22-1948, 119 Martin Circle, David Marcos Escobar.
Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3A is 400 permit information.
All right, another COVID signed green card. They still ain't done with that.
Again, out of compliance for 13 days, so a fine of $325 and continuing.
Granted.
Thank you.
22-1976, 336 La Mancha Avenue, Sharon and Vincent Douglas.
Like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, previous order finding violation, affidavit of service, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures. Exhibit 4, affidavit of compliance.
All right, so you have service via posting as a finding of fact.
No,
sir.
it was out for 3 days, so it's 75 and not
$75.
continuing.
I'll see it on a fine reduction hearing someday. 75 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
23-0432, 76 Sparrow Terrace, Dana S. Davies.
Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Previous order finding violation and permitting village abatement. Affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification ownership. Exhibit 3, public works work order. And Exhibit 4 is a picture.
All right, so service via posting is valid under Florida law and got some good, lovely tall weeds.
And we did the abatement, so we're asking for order assessing fine for the
286.
286, 80 for the mowing, and 206 for the administrative.
286 is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 22-1766, 232 Ponce de Leon Street, Walter J. Scarmato and Christina Bach.
I'm either
Becky?
going to see a moat or a wall. What do I get? Change of grade. It's got to be up or down, right?
Yeah. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, order granting continuance and setting status/fine assessment. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, so you changed the grade at the water's edge? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Down to the water, yeah. He isn't done.
Is what?
He isn't done.
Okay, well, I couldn't see that. You're just
Oh.
telling me that he changed the grade to the water's edge.
He
and
did.
made
This
it
is a fine assessment
Yes.
hearing, but we're asking for a continuance to give him more time
Granted.
So we're asking
Continuances
to-
are easier.
to establish a new compliance date of October 14th or appearance at the
10/14.
November, 10/14 or 11/8 fine assessment hearing, or the $25 a day fine will be maintained.
All right, continue till 10/14 with an 11/8 hearing, continue to 11/8 with a compliance date of 10/14 and a $25 a day fine.
Thank you.
Granted.
Violation hearings, case 23-0064, 48 Essex Court C, Gabriella J. Argueta and Joel Ponce de Leon.
Code Section 622-105.5, permit 22-1442 is expired. This was written on 1/25/23. The notice of violation was sent out certified mail on 1/26/23 and was posted. The notice of hearing was sent out certified mail on 4/1/23 and was also posted.
All right, Joel bought a property in the wrong place. He should have
Yes.
bought it in La Mancha. He could be on Ponce de Leon.
Okay.
He
It's
could.
fine.
He could be his street.
Could be his street, yep.
All right, you have service. What would you like?
We're asking for compliance by 6/29 or the 7/12 fine assessment hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
Granted.
do this into the
6/29,
exhibits.
7/12/25.
Oh, hold on, she needs to get the exhibits in, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We'd like to enter the following into
Evidence.
evidence.
Did you read the code sections too?
Yeah. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
Okay, admitted without objection. Back to 6/29, 7/12/25.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Case 23-0152 is being pulled. 23-0197, 10117 Penzance Lane, RNS Residential Services LLC.
We'd like to enter the following, oh, excuse me, good Lord, Dina.
Now my dog
Code
is going to
Section
be freaking out.
622-108.4, pavers installed without a permit. I observed this on 3/4/23. The notice of violation was mailed out 3/6/23 and was signed for on 3/13/23. We'd like to enter oh my gosh. The notice of hearing was sent out certified mail on 5/6/23 and was signed for on 5/8/23. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, survey.
All right, so you have a signed green card, a double signed green card. You have service.
We
What would you
wanted to let you know as far as with the survey, because I only have pictures of the front yard, but I tried under the fence because with her survey, she's showing that she did all the backyard. So we just wanted to show you that
like? Okay.
because I didn't have the photos.
You gonna give me a survey? I'll look at it. Besides, not much to do other than wait for it to finish raining hard. All right, what'd you like on this one?
Compliance by June 29th or the July 12th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you. 23-0283 is being pulled. 23-0291, 792 Orchid Drive, Daryl and Josephina Foster. Or Darrell, I'm sorry.
Code Section 622-105.5, permit 212382 is expired. This was written on 3/24/23. The notice of violation was sent out certified mail on 3/24/23 and was signed for on 3/30/23. The notice of hearing was sent out certified mail on 4/4/23 and was posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing and affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
I see Dina got a green pen.
I did.
You have signed green cards for service. What would you like?
We're asking for compliance by July 27th or the August 9th fine assessment hearing, or a $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
23-0363 is being pulled. 23-0389 is being pulled. 23-0395, 841 Gardenia Drive, SRP Sub LLC.
That's a familiar name.
Code Section 2316-06190A15 and H 98124C. Parked in the swell in the wrong direction. Sidewalk is stained. Storm shutters are closed. Hedges are over 4 feet. Garbage can and recycle bin are in public view. I observed this on 4/18/23. The notice of violation was sent out certified mail on 4/21/23, and was the USPS was dated 4/25/23. The notice of hearing was sent out certified mail 5/11/23 and was signed for on 5/16/23. We would like to enter the following into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification of ownership; and Exhibit 4, pictures.
All right, you have service. Who would you like?
This one, code section 06190A5, which is the sidewalk is stained, is a finding of fact. But for all the remaining code sections, we are asking for compliance by June 29th or the July 12th fine assessment hearing, or $25 a day fine.
I just drew my Venn diagram. What are the dates again?
6/29 or 7/12 or $25 a day fine.
All right, granted.
Thank you. 23-0420 is being pulled. 22-1823, 120 Dove Circle, David P. and Olive A. Jansen.
This is not the meeting to be pulling cases. We need to kind of stretch this out until it finishes raining hard.
Code section 06190A1, the structure is stained. I observed this violation on 11/29/22. Sent out notice of violation certified mail on 11/29/23 or 22. It was signed on 12/9/22. Sent out notice of hearing certified mail on 4/27/23, and it was signed for on 4/29/23. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification ownership; Exhibit 4, pictures.
I like Margaret's photography skills. The juxtaposition of the clean driveway versus the dirty side of the house makes it look even worse. Good work. You have signed green cards. What would you like?
This one, we're asking for compliance by July 27th or the August 9th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 23-0036, 10549 Summertime Lane, Joshua Solano.
Code sections 12-4C, garbage can is in public view. Observe this violation on 1/17/23. Sent out notice of violation certified mail on 1/20/23. Posted that to the property. Sent out notice of hearing certified mail on 4/1/23. It was signed for on 4/5/23. Like to enter the following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation affidavit of service; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification ownership; Exhibit 4, picture.
Two observations: they're lazy because they have a gate right next to it, and they need to edge their pavers. You have service via posting. What would you like?
This one, we're asking for compliance by June 29th or the July 12th fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you. 23-0112, 116 Sherwood Drive, Adrian J. Puig.
Code section 06190A1, roof and structure are stained. I observed this violation on 2/9/23. Sent out notice of violation on certified mail on 2/13/23. Posted that to the property. Sent out notice of hearing 5/5/23 and spoke to the owner, so have actual service. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation affidavit of service; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification ownership; Exhibit 4, pictures; Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact.
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Thank you. 23-0131, 137 Puffin Court, Clark Family Living Trust, and Patrice A.C. Nelson, trustee.
Code section was 06190A3 and 598. Sidewalk and driveway were stained. Hedge exceed allowable height of 4 feet. I observed this violation on 2/10/23. Sent out notice of violation certified mail on 2/13/23. Posted that to the property. Sent out notice of hearing certified mail on 4/21/23. It was delivered on 4/24/23. Like to enter those following documents into evidence: Exhibit 1, notice of violation affidavit of service; Exhibit 2, notice of hearing; Exhibit 3, verification ownership; Exhibit 4, pictures; Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Somebody's name was Percival, and they made Persia, the junior. Just looking. All right, you have service via posting. What would you like on this one?
Finding of fact again.
Yeah, granted.
Thank you. 23-0135, 119 Moorgate Circle, Irma de Villa and Javier E. Fernandez.
Code section is 622-108.4. They replaced the front door without a permit. I observed this violation on 2/13/23, sent out notice of violation certified mail on 2/16/23, posted it to the property, sent out notice of hearing on 5/6/23. It was delivered on 5/16/23. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, picture. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Okay. You have a somewhat signed but not in the right place green card, but you already have an affidavit of service to make up for it as well. Okay. What would you like on this one?
This one, we're asking for compliance by July 27th or the August 9th fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
23-018.
Is black doors a thing now?
Pardon?
I've just seen all these black doors lately.
That-
The neighbor across the street.
That's
just had the-
glass.
Oh, it's glass?
Yeah, that's glass on that door. It's just like
Yeah.
a white frame, and it's all glass.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the new color.
The black is the new black?
It's the new color. It's the new pink.
23-0186 1061 Moonlight Way, Rosalia M. Tyler and Sean D. Tyler.
Code section was 1557 and 15132. Grass and weeds exceed height allowed along fence. Grass and weeds growing onto the sidewalk. I observed this violation on 3/2/23. Sent out notice of violation, certified mail on 3/4/23. Posted that to the property. Sent out notice of hearing, certified mail on 5/5/23. It was signed for on 5/18/23. Like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact is granted. That's 3 out of 4 findings of fact.
Thank you.
Thank you. 23-0191 10629 Summertime Lane, Fakil and Naomi Raphael.
Code section 622-108.4 and 1571. They enclosed and enlarged a patio, stucco, electric, and installed pavers without a permit, and they removed vegetation without a permit. I observed this violation on 3/3/23. Sent out notice of violation, certified mail on 3/4/23. They received it on 3/14/23. Sent out notice of hearing, certified mail on 4/21/23. Posted that to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Right. So you have an affidavit of service. You have service. What would you like?
We're asking for compliance by July 27th or the August 9th fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
23-0204 102 Dove Circle, Julian Victor Montez de Oca.
Code sections 15141 and 1571. They topped the trees. I observed this violation on 3/6/23. Sent out notice of violation, certified mail on 3/9/23. Signed for it on 3/19/23. Sent out notice of hearing, certified mail on 4/13/23. And that was signed for on 4/15/23. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
All right. So a top tree is just a long stump.
Yeah, they just cut the tops
tree off.
completely off, all 3 of those trees. There's 3 of them.
They didn't like them. All right. What would you like?
Compliance by 7/27 or the 8/9 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
Thank you. 23-0221 198 Bob White Road, 198 Bob White LLC.
Code sections 12-4C and 1540. My papers are all discombobulated. Garbage can in public view and vertical clearance was not met over the sidewalk. I observed this violation on 3/7/23. Sent out notice of hearing on 3/9/23, and it was delivered on 3/14/23. Sent out notice of hearing on 4/27/23, and it was posted to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, USPS tracking. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, affidavit of compliance.
Finding of fact?
Yes.
Granted.
Thank you.
He's on a roll.
23-0224 10711 Bobby Lane, Jasmite, Dama, Lufate, and Saint Helene Petite Frere.
Code section is 06190I, tarp on the roof. I observed this violation on 3/29/23, sent out a notice of violation certified mail on 3/15/23. It was received on 3/22/23, sent out a notice of hearing on 4/27/23, and spoke to the owners in reference to the hearing, so actual service. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Okay. So I take it we don't have a roof permit. Fenced or roof in 04.
You need one for 23.
Oh, their 20th anniversary almost.
Yes.
Okay. What would you like?
Compliance by 727 or the 8-9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
23-0253, 206 Sandpiper Avenue, Alicia Flores.
Code section 2318B3 and 2316, parking on the lawn and parking against the flow of traffic. I observed these violations on 3/17/23, sent out a notice of violation certified mail on 3/21/23. It was signed for on 3/23/23. Sent out a notice of hearing certified mail on 4/26/23. Posted that to the property. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, picture. Exhibit 5, affidavit compliance.
Okay. Finding fact again?
Yes, please.
Margaret's on a roll. Finding fact is granted.
Thank you. 23-0257, 102 Mimosa Street, Lisa C. Hayes.
Code sections 1571, remove trees without a vegetation removal permit. I observed this violation on 3/21/23, sent out notice of hearing, notice violation certified mail on 3/24/23. It was signed for on 3/27/23. Sent out notice of hearing certified mail on 4/21/23. Posted that to the property. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing, affidavit of service. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, picture. Exhibit 5, AS400 permit information.
Okay. Either cutting down trees or selling firewood, one of the two.
Cutting down trees.
Would you like on this one?
Compliance by 727 or the 8-9 fine hearing or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you.
23-328, 101 Oriole Court, David H. Crick.
Code section 622-108.4, replaced or installed a water heater without a permit. I observed this violation on 4/13, observed this violation on 4/13/23. I sent out a notice of violation certified mail on 4/17/23. It was delivered on 4/25/23. Sent out a notice of hearing on 5/4/23 and spoke to the owner actual service again. I'd like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 5, picture. Exhibit 6, affidavit compliance.
All right. Finding of fact will be granted. Looks like they have a vehicle or a trailer they're using back there because they look like ruts, wheel ruts.
Thank you.
And
23
after tonight, they'll be filled in with fresh new green
That's the
stuff.
next case.
23-0268, 11151 Southern Boulevard, IV.
You skipped Oriole Court.
That's
you
what I
skipped
thought. I'm sorry.
Sparrow.
I wrote it on the wrong one. 23-0374, 100 Sparrow Drive, number 6.
We just did that one as a finding of fact. Then we got Oriole Court.
That's the one we just did.
Water heater.
Oh,
I read in the Oriole Court. Yeah.
oh. Okay, so do we need to do that over then?
Yes.
Okay, so
Let's
Oriole.
back up.
Back up to 23-328. I'm sorry, I
Okay,
didn't.
that's that one. Oriole Court, correct? Yes.
All right,
Code
so
section.
the last one we had is 23-328.
Code section
Finding
is
of fact with the
9-1
ruts.
and 15-132, installed fence without a permit in lawn had bare areas. I observed that violation on 4/3/23, sent out notice of violation certified mail on 4/4/23, and it was signed for on 4/6/23. Sent out notice of hearing certified mail on 5/5/23, and that was signed for on 5/9/23. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, pictures. Exhibit 5 AS400 permit information.
But it's such a pretty fence.
Well, you got the permit for the fence.
Well, he's working on his ruts too. He's
Now
all
he
good.
needs to work on the rest.
So in this one, 9.1, which is the fence, is a finding of fact. The other section, 15.132, we're asking for compliance by 7/27, or the 8/9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine. No, we haven't done that one. We're doing that next.
All right,
You had 'em
finding
out of order,
fact
yeah.
on the
Sorry, I didn't hear
fence and the lawn bare areas is going to be what now? Which one? 7?
Compliance by 7/29 or 8/9 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Is it 7/27?
7/27, 8/9.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, I
grief.
was confused because I looked up my row and it's like, that's the only 29th. She's making it fun.
Nope, sorry about that.
No fun. Okay, granted.
All right, now we're to 23-0374, 100 Sparrow Drive, number 6, Corinthian Timber Creek Prop LLC.
Okay, so code section 622-108.4, replace or install the water heater without a permit. This was observed by Dina on 4/13/23, sent out notice of violation, certified mail on 4/17/23. It was received on 4/25/23, sent out notice of hearing, certified mail on 5/4/23, and I spoke to the owner about the hearing. I'd like to enter those following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification ownership. Exhibit 4, AS400 permit information. Exhibit 5, pictures. Exhibit 6, affidavit compliance.
All right, finding of fact?
On that one, yes.
Yes.
Finding of fact is granted.
Sorry about
Corinthian
that.
leather.
Thank you.
That's all right, I didn't hear you. Next one is 23-0268-11151 Southern Boulevard, IBT, Southern Royal Palm Beach, 1031 LLC. Southern Royal Palm Beach, 1031 LLC.
The code section is 622-105.5. The description is permit number 192648 is expired. This violation was mailed, certified mail 3/24/23. It was signed for on 3/28/23. Notice of hearing was mailed on 5/5/23 and signed for on 5/10/23. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
All right, sign green card equals service.
This one,
I
bless
see the
you.
building department's plan. They're going to send all their files over to code enforcement so you can move them to the next building and then give them back.
To what?
We're asking for compliance by 6/29 or the 7/12 fine assessment hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
Thank you. 23-0271 11001 Southern Boulevard, IBT, Southern Royal Palm Beach, 1031 LLC.
Code section 622-105.5, permit number 1795 is expired. This violation was mailed on 3/24/23. It was signed on 3/28/23. Notice of hearing was mailed on 5/5/23, and it was signed on 5/10/23. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
I get this deja vu feeling about this case, except it's a 19 permit on the last versus a 22 permit on this one. So
Correct. Again, we're asking for compliance by 6/29 or the 7/12 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
granted.
23-0274 12031 Southern Boulevard, Western Academy Holding, LLC, lessor, Western Academy, Inc., lessee.
Code section is 622-105.5. The description is permit number 22-1849 is expired. This violation was mailed on 3/23/23 or 3/24/23, and it was signed for on 3/27/23. Notice of hearing was mailed 5/5/23 and signed for on 5/8/23. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
All right, you have service via signed green cards. What would you like?
Again, compliance by 6/29 or the 7/12 fine hearing, or $25 a day fine.
Granted.
23-0275 11903 Southern Boulevard, number 102, S. Florida Fed Land Bank Association, FLCA. Thanks.
This Violation was mailed, certified mail on 3/24/23. It was signed on 3/28/23. Notice of hearing was mailed on 5/5/23 and signed for on 5/9/23.
Excuse me.
I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, permit information.
All right, you have service. What are you doing?
This one's a finding of fact.
Finding of fact is granted.
Thank you. 23-0336, 222 Kingfisher Way, Verset Royal Palm Beach, LP.
Code section 622, 108.4. The fire alarm was done without a permit. This violation was mailed on, or written on 3/31. It was sent certified mail on 4/4/24. It was signed for and not dated. Notice of hearing was mailed on 5/5/24, and it too was signed for and not dated. I would like to enter the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation. Exhibit 2, notice of hearing. Exhibit 3, verification of ownership. And Exhibit 4, the AS400 information showing that no fire alarm permit was pulled.
All right, 4/4/24, 5/5. You gonna send him something on 6/6 or 7/7?
Nope. Compliance by 6/29 or 7/12 fine assessment hearing or $25 a day fine.
29, 7/12/25 is granted.
Thank you. Health, Safety, Welfare Abatement Hearing, case 23-0627, 289 Ponce de Leon Street, Progress Residential Borrower 2 LLC.
Code section 1557, grass and weeds exceeds height allowed. I observed this on 6/8/23. The notice of violation and notice of hearing were mailed out 6/14/23 and were posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership. Exhibit 3, pictures.
All right, you have service via affidavit of service. So as I was driving here this evening, I slowed down right in front of that place and made sure I looked at the numbers on the house so I could go, I'm going to see this one. And I looked and I said 289,
There you go.
289, and look what I get, 289. The eastern gate is closed, the western gate is open, and the kids walk by that every day to going to school, but they're not doing it now for the summer. So we are going to do an abatement order.
You have an abatement order to sign, I think. So we're asking for a one-time abatement, which would allow us to come back to you for fine assessment hearing to recover $80 for abatement and $206 for administrative fees. And also, that order sets the fine assessment hearing for July 12th.
And the order is granted, and the abatement order is signed. And I see we have an addenda on the last page.
Yep, another health, safety, welfare, health and safety abatement hearing, case 23-0570, 191 Gulfstream Circle, El Figo M. Bahina, and Udis B. Canillo.
Code section 1557, grass and weeds exceeds height allowed. I observed this on 5/18/23. The notice of violation was mailed out 5/20/23 and posted. The notice of hearing was mailed out 6/14/23 and was also posted. We'd like to enter the following into evidence. Exhibit 1, notice of violation, notice of hearing, and affidavit of service. Exhibit 2, verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3, pictures.
Okay. That's Ponce de Leon. I know that one
Are there
well.
pictures in here?
We
Yes.
need the
Oh,
most
no, they're not.
luxuriously green
Run
weeds
out.
ever.
Yeah.
You have pictures. You have pictures.
Yes, I
Okay.
have
There you go.
Most luxuriously green weeds ever. I mean,
I know.
the rain is doing wonders for our foliage here.
It has. Thank you.
So you don't have an order, but we're asking for the same thing for one-time abatement authorization, which would allow us to come back for $286, which covers $80 for abatement, $206 for administrative costs, and we'll request that at the July 12th fine assessment hearing.
Okay. Not signed. But granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any minutes to sign? Oh, look, 2. See, we're trying to stretch this out because you got like 45 minutes to wait before you go home. You still
Which
have-
minutes does he have? March and March and May.
March and May, because April's not there. Has anyone ever looked at these? I mean, we like doing them, but has anyone ever looked at these? Have they ever used this as evidence in anything? We just like it. It's fun.
We have to do them, yep.
Now that you asked that.
Someone will request them, yeah.
Well, of course. All right. Seeing that it's 6:40, do we have anything else to do?
No, sir, nothing.
Dang. But the good news is I don't have to look at the dais and see what kind of arc I can build out of it. So the rain has stopped. We can all go except for the poor working people here who have to do a meeting.
Rain hasn't stopped.
It stopped compared to where it was.
Compared to pouring, but it's still raining.
That's just like Florida leaking all over us.
We're still in yellow and red. Yeah,
Yeah? Oh my God. Good sell?
yeah. We're under